Alright guys, RoKage here and welcome back to the brand new video. Here we are, DC Dark Legion will be the topic. So it is time I make an updated DC Dark Legion tier list. We got new characters, Arsenal and Martian Manhunter. I'll also rank them as best as possible currently. I still cannot decide yet, but we're gonna see as I make this tier list. Hopefully I will make the right decisions. Okay, so let me start. Please, if you disagree with something, like a lot of tier lists are subjective based on your own experiences and everything else, put it in the comment section below. I definitely encourage you to do so. Let's talk. Give me the examples. Give me why you think that something should be differently ranked here, because in future I can make better and better tier lists. Okay, so let me start. Black Canary, we can start with her. Currently now I'll put her in the B tier. I wouldn't rank her higher than this. I literally don't use her at all. Okay, on paper she seems like super interesting character with that silence and everything else, but currently now I wouldn't rank her higher than the B tier. Okay, then we have the Atom. Related to the Atom, he is a super free-to-play friendly character in a way, right? Because you will get multiple copies even as a free-to-play, and you will reach higher rankings for him. He is amazing for the nuking, and during the fight, his big disadvantage is that he won't be able to use multiple times the ultimate. He will use the ultimate and pretty much die. Keep that in mind, but also he applies some stunning and everything else. Super interesting character. I use him. I don't use him too frequently, but I can place him into A+ tier. Joker, guys, without any explanation, I'll put him here in the God tier. I mean, we already know that he's the best DOT in the game, damage over time, right? He will do, in my case, when I'm using Joker, in most cases, he will do the biggest damage during the fight, even bigger than Superman, who is a purple stars, and my Joker is blue stars, for example, okay? So definitely he deserves to be in the God tier. Now, Green Arrow, I usually rank him this day as S, but after further more analysis, after further more testings, even though he's amazing free-to-play friendly character, currently now he'll be in a S tier. When you reach the red stars for him, his damage will go up tremendously, but mainly you will use him as a single target DPS, and that's pretty much that. We got plenty of new units and everything else, so I believe that he's now in the S tier overall. Okay, Mera will go into SS still. I find her extremely valuable unit, especially for the free-to-play players to have just like a top tier healer, and definitely as you reach those higher stars, she will do insane amount of healing, okay? So definitely can go into the SS tier. Deathstroke as well will go into SS tier. Super valuable unit, especially to counter the back row from the enemy. Super fast, extremely big damage, super broken for the darkest timeline, for example, as well. And he has survivability if you have all skills unlocked. Also, more Legion of Doom characters you have, bigger damage he's gonna do. Definitely SS tier. Okay, then we have Constantine, who is next on bleed schedule, at least for my main server. Overall, just like extremely busted, huge AoE range DPS type of character. So with the ultimate, he's doing one of the biggest damages in the game, and the range is on another level. Definitely you want to build him up as high as possible. He can go into the God tier. Harley Quinn, still today I believe she can be in the SS tier. She is doing that beautiful AoE damage to nearby enemies. Of course, she gains a pretty decent amount of energy, so she's really practical to use, okay? And as well, for Suicide Squad, she buffs the attack. Okay, not so much important, but maybe in future it will become more and more important overall. She can go into SS tier. Now, Zatanna, whoever planned to use Justice League Dark, Zatanna is a must in my eyes, because she will be buffing both attack and physical damage to really high extent for everyone, so that's a big deal. And as well, the highest attacker will get even more buffs from Zatanna, okay? So that's why she goes in the God tier, in my opinion. Then the next one is Flash. Flash is amazing support. Solid S tier, especially for buffing the attack of the highest attacker, also buffing the energy for the ally. Many people use it, and mainly you're gonna use it as a support. So S tier. Shazam as well can go into S tier. Really amazing character, especially when you reach few stars. He will help you out with survivability, also will give you those taunts, so many enemies will be focused more on Shazam, and if you have enough of survivability for him, you can do really amazing stuff while enemies are attacking him. He'll also provide the shield and everything else, and then your DPS characters can prosper. It really depends on the strategies and everything else. Aquaman, even though usually I always ranked him in the S tier, I'm considering putting him into A+. On those super high rankings, I rarely see, for example, in Meta Brawl, I rarely see that these days that people are using Aquaman, for example. I believe that I'll place him... I don't know. I'm even thinking to place Atom in A tier, just because these days he'll do this ultimate, he will go away. I'll just do this. I have to be a little bit more strict here. Aquaman in A+. Even though he has amazing thing to control the characters, gather them together, and then you go all in. These days, I face many Aquamans in Meta Brawl, and I completely dominate. So that's why I'm placing an A+. Atom, just because of that usage of one ultimate, you won't use it so frequently. So I don't know, this is the change I've done here. We're gonna see the reaction from you guys. I mean, really depends from your own experience. Now, Stargirl, she can go into the A+ tier, dispels 5 stacks of debuffs or weakening effects of all allies and applies damage reduction. So she will be extremely helpful for survivability and as well removing those debuffs, etc. So super important character. Penguin can go into A tier. I didn't even use him so much. He can be good with impacting with those penguins and as well slowing down the enemies, but again, I don't see much higher value than this. Cyborg can go into S tier, in my opinion. He is in my super valuable unit, especially when you want to squeeze even more damage with your physical damage dealers. And I believe for that, he will be extremely valuable unit. Also, when you get that dupes for him, he'll be able to, like, when someone kills him, he'll repair himself, and he's pretty tanky in a way. His survivability is really good. Okay, the next character will be... I'll think about Cyborg. I'm still thinking A+, S, not sure. Hard to decide on certain things, to be honest. Okay, the next character is Lex Luthor. He'll go into A+. He's actually amazing DPS character, especially when using Legion of Doom characters, especially in certain combat cycle. I can't remember which one. When the characters are positioned in that way, in like pretty linear way, he will destroy for 100%. Okay, so A+ for sure. Cyborg A+ on... just because how much of buffs he will apply that huge debuff on enemy, and you will do huge damage with physical damage dealers, and that's pretty huge. But Not sure. I believe I'll place him in A plus for now. Okay. Batgirl can go into the Batgirl into the AA plus, mainly when Bat Family will be more usable. I believe she'll be when Bat Family will be more usable, more frequently people gonna use the Batgirl. But for now, I honestly will place her in the A tier. I just don't see people using her at all so much. So, and me mainly, I'm not using her at all, for example. So for now, I'll place it like this. She fall for me, at least in my eyes. Batman, I usually always rank him in the S tier. I will also rank him now as well into S tier. I cannot be purely objective with Batman. He's my favorite superhero and everything else, but his big weakness overall is when you have single target enemy, or when enemies are really spread out, then he won't dominate. But he has survivability. He's super interesting. He has super interesting attacks. Also gains that physical defense bonuses. But I hope in future the Batman will get a buff. Okay, at the start of the battle, each Justice League ally present grants Batman one stack of 15% attack up. Keep that in mind. Okay, this is maxed. But more Justice League, bigger damage the Batman will do. So in the right team, he definitely deserves to be in S tier. Dr. Fate, finally in my eyes, he reached that SS tier. Extremely busted, especially now as we get more Justice League Dark characters. His shield is on another level, and he is the best unit that will give you survivability in the matches. Black Adam, honestly, A plus. I wouldn't go higher than that. In those late game, he just doesn't do enough of damage, but he's still really solid to be in the A plus tier. Two-Face as well can be helpful with Joker. Joker with him will do bigger damage, and mainly you're gonna use it for that. And as well, he has that solid damage. Okay, but look at this: spiritual defense, reduce panic. This is what he's applying. Okay, also bleeding, for example. And yeah, mainly you're gonna use him as a debuffer. Okay, A plus. We have then Robin. He can go as well into A plus. He's solid unit, especially in future. I believe Teen Titans will destroy. Can do big damage, not as much as Deathstroke. Don't have survivability as Deathstroke, but definitely deserves to be in that A plus tier. Bane as well can go in A plus tier. Good tank, good DPS, solid unit, especially if you're using that Legion of Doom attacks and everything else. Extremely helpful. Raven will go in SS tier, especially now as we get more and more Justice League characters. This unit destroyed me in Meta Brawl so many times, and in the Darkest Timeline, extremely usable unit in many cases, will give you huge survivability. And especially with Justice League Dark, she deserves to be there. Okay, you're gonna see in future she's gonna prosper more and more. She needs that a little bit more investment. Like White Stars already, she works so well. Okay, Poison Ivy will go into God tier. This is something that I firmly decided to do, just because how easily she is to like, even when you start the game, easily to get if you do the things right, if you select the right mythic character. Not only she can help you out with the extreme amount of healing, but as well summoning those wines really help you out in so many cases, and she will also do a really solid damage as a support. So I believe overall she deserves to be in God tier. Superman God tier, one of my favorite units in the game. Needs a little bit more investment, that cape, but when you get all of this, he will have the survivability. I use him even at front row, but until you don't reach that purple stars, his survivability won't be that interesting. Okay, freezing capabilities, massive damages, and as well in future decreases potential for future. Okay, because when we get Superman's family, he will go crazy. No, Green Lantern, many people are like, why he's in God tier? He is just behind the payment, okay? When you spend enough of money, when you build him enough, he will give you everything as a support. And many people are using him, whales and everything else who build him up, those red stars. It just depends. Will you prefer more Justice League tag? Will you prefer more Arkham Most Wanted tag, etc.? But definitely deserves to be in God tier. Now, Wonder Woman, for now, I'll place him in the S tier. I did test her out even furthermore. I believe now she will get that mythic. She's definitely getting that mythic, and she might go up to SS God tier for sure. She's now somewhere around here, but just because of 3-4 comments saying that she needs to be an S tier. Okay, so like I always say, I put in consideration your opinions when making another tier list. I believe it's not a mistake putting her in the S tier or SS tier. I just believe she will go completely broken with Mythic, and she has that control type. She can control the units with the stunning, also help you out with the shield. Many people use her, especially when she's fully built up. Super close to SS currently, but for now I would just leave it in S tier. And when she gets that mythic, I'll place her higher for sure. She'll probably go into God tier. Okay. Fine, great. Now we have Sinestro. Some people are disappointed with Sinestro, but I'll tell you why. Because all white stars is truly not enough for him. In the beginning, many people who played early access were saying that A0, like no dupes, is fine. I truly don't agree with that. I believe getting the blue stars for him makes the huge difference. And oh boy, yes, he is a God tier character. Helps me out tremendously. Joker, Superman, and Sinestro combo. Jesus, busted. Scarecrow, as one of the best debuffers in the game by far, goes into SS tier, especially when you get his legacy piece. He will go absolutely nuts with survivability and helping your whole team to prosper. Okay, Red Hood can go in A+, Vixen can go into A tier just because you can use her for that nice buffs. Hawkgirl A+, I wouldn't put her higher. Red Robin A+, solid with the shield and everything else. I'm still not heavily impressed. Solid damage, but I wouldn't put it higher than A+. Killer Croc A tier. A solid AoE attack, by the way, and gives you a really nice survivability as a tank unit, but for now, putting it higher than A tier. No. Catwoman, she's my first unit that I reach red stars. B tier. Okay, DPS. Really good DPS as you reach that red stars, but really heavy investment needed so she can work. Then we have that shot, maybe in some cases usable, like single target. That's pretty much that. And then we have Captain Cold, like B tier as well. I have heavily built him up, and I always tend to use some other characters. Okay, really good with the Frostbite. Yes, really good with that. Maybe solely because of that, I should put it in A tier. Okay, because of Frostbite. So I'll put it like this. Okay, Nightwing, last time we ranked him in SS tier. I still stand by that. Extremely broken unit, especially for the meta brawl. And yeah, broken assassin. Not a God tier in my opinion. Again, heavy investment needed, but this is how I see it. Now, Arsenal is the unit that I didn't test out, except of Darkest Timeline. Arsenal shoots 9 arrows in the sky, each dealing physical damage of his attacked random enemy, inflicting 1 stack of deadly mark. Increases counterattack damage taken. Now, related to the Arsenal and Martian Manhunter, I believe we still cannot rank them objectively. I will still rank them, but I truly believe we need more outsiders so they can prosper. Still, currently now, we are not getting that 3 outsider stack because we're waiting for the Starfire, okay? And I truly believe that currently now, those characters are not at its best, okay? Currently now, I'll place Arsenal in A+, and Martian Manhunter in SS. I truly believe that Martian Manhunter will become a God tier unit when we get more outsiders. And especially when you apply this legacy piece. Oh my god, I believe I bought Superman's Cape. I truly believe this is the next one I will buy. Like every time an ally has their ultimate, their attack and physical defense are permanently increased by 8% and it can stack up to 40%. This part is so huge. Martian Manhunter currently now needs to have like purple stars so he can work. So heavy investment needed for this guy currently to work. You won't expect for him huge DPS unless you do these huge counter attacks. He will have massive survivability and will help your team with these counter attacks over a longer fights. So he does the damage with this skill. John's physical defense and man increases, so big survivability. Martian Manhunter links minds with all allies, granting them mind ward for 10 seconds. Taking basic attack damage reduces cooldown of rage by 2 seconds. Look at this. So mind ward. When the target is hit by a skill other than a basic attack, Martian Manhunter performs a counter attack on the attacker, dealing spiritual damage equal to 500% of his attack. So I truly believe Martian Manhunter is an amazing character. When he drops, everyone should summon for him. At least all white stars for now, and I believe in the future he will prosper tremendously. He can still now do really solid damage, but he needs that investment. He needs those purple stars so he can start working, and especially as we get more outsiders. Like more outsiders we get, then we can apply it. Like literally now, currently this skill doesn't apply at the start of the battle. If there are at least 3 outsiders, duration of mind ward is increased by 5 seconds, and that's a huge deal because longer mind ward you have, bigger counter attacks gonna happen, okay? You're gonna accumulate more damage with those counter attacks, and this is how this unit is working. So you will use him mainly as a tank, even though he's a warrior. You will use him for massive survivability and as well doing at the same time this big counter attack damage. But you need to heavily invest in this character to work, and so he can become close to the God tier. He's now between S tier and SS tier. I don't know. I'll place him in SS tier currently now because I find him better than the S tier. Okay? And this would be my opinion. Arsenal A+, just because I truly believe we need more outsiders so Arsenal can prosper, do the bigger damage, do the bigger counter attacks, and help you even more. Because he is the type of the character that will be extremely helpful when you have more outsiders, because he will increase that counter attack damage. So Martian Manhunter, Arsenal, and that one other outsider, I believe that will be the team where we're gonna properly see how good they are. Okay, so Arsenal and Martian Manhunter, take it with a grain of salt. Honestly, still not 100% sure, but this is how I decided. You can destroy me in the comment section below if you don't agree. I like this type of discussions. Okay, we're gonna end the video here. So this is revamped tier list. I changed a lot of things. We're gonna see. I know some people will disagree, some people agree. It's really hard, especially for DC Dark Legion. Creating the right tier list, it's super hard. Like the real most realistic way would be that I have all of these characters red star fully built so we can like test out literally everything. But that's how it is for now. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Leave a like, subscribe, your opinions in the comment section below, and yeah, see you next one. Bye, love you.